What's happening YouTube? It's Simon466cards, and today we're doing a different type of video than usual. We're not talking about data. There's no analysis. There's no math. There's no numbers. It's more of an abstract exercise. I'm going to start it off with a simple question. When I say dealers, sports card dealers, what's the feeling that comes into your mind? Is it a positive feeling? Is it a negative feeling? Are you kind of indifferent? Maybe one leans a little bit more positive, maybe a little bit more negative. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question. What are your thoughts about card flippers? Again, positive, negative, neutral. And when you compare the two, is there a more negative connotation to dealers or more negative connotation to flippers, right? And I feel like the answer is flippers are thought of more negatively than dealers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like in the hobby, in sports cards, generally flippers are viewed more negatively than dealers. I feel like that's a pretty safe assumption. And here's my question. Does that make sense? Because I want you to compare the two and what they do. Do they buy cards below comps? Yes, they both do. Is their main goal to resell cards for a profit? Sure is. Are they short-term oriented? I'd say flippers more so than dealers. But if a dealer can buy a card at a card show and sell it for 20% more in the same card show, they would do it 100% of the time. So they might hold some cards for a little bit longer, but that's mostly because they might have some older cards that are less prone to fluctuation. But I feel like by and large, flippers are only a little bit more short-term oriented than dealers. Fourth question, do they sell from tables at a show? Flippers generally do not, dealers do. And then the last question, are there good and bad versions of dealers, and are there good and bad versions of flippers? To me, the answer is yes. And so this is all to say, flippers are just dealers without physical tables. There's no difference between these two groups of people. It's just that dealers are set up at shows. In the case of the National, it's just they've been around longer. But flippers do the same thing as dealers. It's just they do it more online, whereas dealers are more likely to set up at shows more often. And so to me, it doesn't make sense why dealers and flippers have different connotations to them. In fact, I don't even know why the term flippers exists. They're just dealers without tables to me, right? And so to me, don't treat them differently. When you hear flipper, just think they're just dealers. It's the same thing. There's no difference between the two. And that's it. That's the entire video. Nice and short and sweet. I don't understand why flippers and dealers are thought of differently. They do the same thing. That's it. That's the video. Do you agree? Flippers and dealers, are they the same? What are your thoughts? Would love to hear what you have to say and if I'm missing a key point somewhere. But to me, it doesn't seem like there's much difference between the two. As we always do on the channel, we will preview the next one. And the next one is, I bought a card recently. What do you think is the cheapest way to ship it home to me? That'll be up next time. Thank you, as always, for listening and watching, and I will talk to you all soon. Cheers.